Hey all, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee Fusion. This week we're looking at the flat white. So first off, the basics. A flat white is made on the espresso machine with espresso and textured milk. The main characteristics of a flat white are that it's a strong milk coffee and not too much frothy milk. Traditionally, I'd say it's served in a fairly small ceramic cup between 150 and 200 mils, although you can make a flat white in any size you want as long as you put enough espresso shots to keep the strength in there. So to start off, let's pull a shot of espresso. I'm using my blend Keyboard Warrior here, which is by far the most popular blend for my milk coffees. I'm going to use an espresso recipe of 20 grams in, 40 grams out, and aim for a time of 30 to 32 seconds. Now, if you're not used to espresso recipes, I'll link a video at the end so you can learn a little bit more about extracting great espresso. So I've got this double espresso getting split into my flat white cup and a second espresso glass just to catch that other shot. Now, although I mentioned before that a traditional recipe for a flat white is a single shot in a smaller cup, you can definitely use 2 shots if you like it stronger, or a bigger cup if you want to make a bigger drink. Now, the other part of our flat white recipe is textured milk. I'm using a 400 ml jug here so that there isn't too much milk wasted when I've finished pouring the coffee. Again, I'll link another more in-depth video on milk texturing at the end too, but basically we're wanting to get our whirlpool going early, add a little bit of air for our microfoam, and then get that steam tip back below the surface and keep that milk spinning till we get to 65 degrees Celsius. One of the more important things with the flat white is we do want some air added into the milk, but we don't want that milk to be overly frothy. When you've finished texturing your flat white, you should notice the volume in your jug has increased by only about 1 centimeter. And once we've poured this milk into the cup, we should see that our flat white has about 0.5 centimeters of froth, sealing that crema on top of the coffee. So lastly, let's quickly talk about pouring a flat white coffee, especially if you're going to try and pour some latte art. Give your jug a knock and a swirl to get that shiny looking milk. And when it comes to pouring, we're going to start pouring from a bit of a height, about 5 centimeters, to set the crema. And this is going to give us that nice brown surface on top. From here, you can just either keep filling the cup and get that brown surface on top, or if you want to pour a pattern, when it's 3/4 full, we're going to move our jug spout in and pour our pattern. Of course, it's up to you which kind of coffee you use, and although it's easiest with regular milk, you can use any alternative milk you want as well to make a flat white. If you are going to use your alternate milk, try and make sure you grab one which is purposely designed for coffee so that it doesn't react with your espresso. Now, there's a few differing stories about whether the flat white was invented in Australia or New Zealand, but it's slowly becoming one of the more popular milk coffees here in Australia. And over the last 5 or so years, some of the biggest chains around the world like Starbucks have put the flat white on their menu, so it's now an internationally recognised drink. So how does a flat white compare to a latte then? Well, they've both got a single shot of espresso and they're both steamed milk, so you could think they're about the same. But a latte has a little bit more foamy milk on top, which will give it that silky mouthfeel. And as well as that, a latte is usually served in a bigger vessel, so the glass is somewhere between 200 and 250 mils. So this means that the latte has a lot bigger milk to coffee ratio, it's a weaker drink, but whichever you prefer actually just depends on your palate, so there's no right or wrong answer. Personally, when I make a flat white, I use a 200 ml cup and I put a double shot in there because I like that stronger cup, and especially if I'm using a lighter roast. So hopefully you should now have a pretty good idea about how to make a great flat white. So remember, if you need to learn more about espresso or your milk texturing, check out those videos linked at the end. If you're based in Australia, you can grab some of my coffee from the website or join the coffee community by signing up to my subscription. When you sign up, you get yourself a free sample pack for your first delivery, so you can try a few of the coffees and learn what you like most. All you have to do is cover shipping to get the coffee in your hands. I hope that you learned everything you needed from this one. If not, head to those comments below and I'll answer your questions there. Until next time, keep frothing.